What's up, guys? Hope you're having a great day. I just have this CRKT knife that I wanted to share with you, and also just highlight a couple of the different sharpening services that I provide with my Apex knife service. So this is a Columbia River knife and tool, M16 model, -14 SFG, and this is the Tonto version with the VEF serrations, which is a little bit different. You guys really haven't seen any Tonto blades here on my channel, or really a whole lot of serrations either. So this knife was kind of different and new, so I wanted to share that with you guys, just to show you something a little bit different. And if some of you guys have knives like this that need sharpening, please let me know. Please contact me. So this knife just has my standard edge on it, which is up to about a 600 grit stone. If I can show you guys here the level of finish that you get with a 600 grit stone. If I can get this to focus, there we go. Camera's kind of having some troubles focusing today, guys. Sorry about that. Don't know why it keeps going in and out like that. There we go. Hopefully you guys can get a good view there. But yeah, so if you guys have, Tonto knives, they're a little bit more difficult to sharpen than a standard knife. It's essentially 3 knives in one if you have a knife with serrations. So obviously you have to sharpen the serrations, individually. And then you also have to sharpen this flat portion here. And then I found on most Tonto knives, this tip portion here is sharpened generally at a much steeper angle than what the street portion here would be sharpened at. So basically 3 different angles on this knife to get it sharp. But if you guys are not familiar with these VEF serrations, I believe they were made by a guy named Tom VEF, who was a professional sharpener and kind of invented these kind of offset serrations. They're kind of open, more scalloped, and they're designed to kind of feed the material more into the blade and not kind of tear it and push it around. And with my limited experience with these, I would say they work pretty well, though overall I'm not a super big fan of serrations in general. I'd rather just have a nice plain edge knife. I would say they work pretty well, but if you work on a boat or something, or you're cutting lots of rope or fibrous materials, then serrations may be a big benefit to you. So I sharpen serrations a little bit differently than some people do with my Edge Pro system. I actually do the majority of the sharpening from the back side of the blade here, which I lay my stone down almost flat, and basically hone this down until I get a burr on the other side, and then I'll flip it over and run a ceramic rod through these individual serrations. And I found that works really well, and it keeps your serrations sharp, and it doesn't round off these points, so they still bite into the material that you're trying to cut, and doesn't really tear up your stones too much in the process. So that works out pretty well. Only downside is, if you have a coated blade like this, it kind of forces you to remove just a little bit of that black coating, that's on the serrations. But for most people, I don't think that's of concern. They really just want to have a sharp blade that works. So, if that's what you have to do to get it sharp and service it, then that's just kind of the way it is. So, let me just talk about the knife overall in general. It's a fairly good sized knife. The handle's quite long on it. I'd say the blade is, about 3 3/4 inch length, pretty good size. I don't know the steel on this blade, and I don't believe that CRKT really provides that for you either. It's not like a crazy high-end steel. I would say it's probably along the lines of like a 4 or 40C, something like that, but it gets the job done, no problem there. Overall, the handle feel on this knife is good. It's comfortable. These kind of flippers here act as kind of a hand guard, I guess you could say, once you're using this knife. And something that's kind of interesting is this knife actually has a lock on the liner lock. So this liner lock will not disengage unless you first depress this safety here and then undo your liner lock like that. So kind of interesting feature. Haven't really seen that before too much. I guess that's just kind of a added safety if you're using this knife hard and don't want it to fall in your hand. But again, this is a flipper design. Let me see if I can show this on camera here for you guys. Get this going. Takes a little bit of a wrist flick to get this out. There we go. But overall, it's pretty smooth. Smooth action. CRKT actually uses double washers on this knife, which is kind of cool, kind of different. There is a thin phosphor bronze washer along with a small plastic washer that's in there, which nestle aside the blade, and honestly, it's very smooth. It works very well. Among the smoothest that I've actually ever really handled. Amongst all manufacturers, and knives costing much more than this blade, so that's pretty cool. Trying to think about what else I want to tell you about this knife here. Just standard pocket clip. Has some thumb studs there if you choose to use those, but I think they're kind of more of a blade stop than anything. But yeah, overall, pretty high value knife. I think these retail for around $50. So, not a bad deal if you guys are looking for something like this, kind of hard use. So, let's see here. Enough talking. Let me do some showing here this edge for you guys. This knife is a little harder to show sharpening or cutting tests on, just the nature of the Tanto blade. But see what I can do here to get you a couple slices of the straight edge portion and then the serrations, which came out pretty well. So let's see what we have here, guys, on this. See what we can do. Oop, that wasn't good. Hold on. There we go. I think I caught the serration there on that first cut, guys. Let me go ahead and do a couple serration cuts here for you too. If I can get that in on camera. Show you where we're at. There you go. So nice and sharp. From tip to base, straight edge and serrations. So if any of you guys out there have serrated knives that you just can't get sharp or have troubles with, please let me know. I'd be happy to get those sharpened up for you. So, let's see, Mike, if you're watching, this knife is coming back to you today. I hope you enjoy it. And to everybody else, I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.